All right, let's get right into it. We're going to tackle one of the biggest questions humanity has ever asked. Are we alone in the universe? For millennia, that was a question for philosophers and poets. But today, it's a driving force in science.
And it seems like more of us than ever are convinced the answer is a big no. I mean, get this. A 2020 CBS poll found that 2/3 of Americans believe intelligent life exists on other planets. What's amazing is how fast that belief has jumped. Just 10 years earlier, that number was below 50%. So this idea of a populated cosmos, it's really taking hold.
And it's pretty easy to see why. The numbers are just staggering. This number you're looking at, 2 trillion, that's the estimated number of galaxies in the observable universe. Not stars, not planets, but whole galaxies, each with hundreds of billions of their own stars. With odds like that, it feels almost inevitable that someone else is out there, right?
But when we actually point our telescopes to the sky and we listen, all we hear is this profound cosmic silence. Not a single confirmed signal, no definitive proof of any technological civilization out there beyond our own little blue marble. This huge contradiction between the probability and the reality, well, that's the heart of the mystery we're diving into. It's a puzzle that physicist Enrico Fermi famously brought up, and it's now known as the Fermi paradox. In a universe that should be absolutely teeming with life, why is everything so quiet?
To really investigate this great silence, first we need to understand how exactly we've been listening in. The search for extraterrestrial intelligence, or SETI, has had a pretty fascinating history. It went from early hopeful guesses like Tesla thinking he was hearing signals from Mars to the first real scientific experiment with Project Ozma. It even survived some major setbacks, like losing all its government funding back in the 90s, but it's reemerged stronger than ever with these massive, privately funded projects.
Now, this is a crucial point. We're not looking for little green men in flying saucers. Scientists are on the hunt for technosignatures. Just think of them as the fingerprints of technology. Any measurable evidence that would be really, really hard for nature to produce all on its own.
And this is a brilliant example of the main thing we're looking for. Natural things out in space, like pulsars, they kind of shout their energy across the entire radio dial. It's broadband. But technology, like our own radio stations, is way more efficient. We pack energy into a very narrow slice of that dial. So finding a steady, narrowband signal, that would be a dead giveaway. But the scale of this search is almost impossible to wrap your head around. This quote from SETI pioneer Jill Tarter just captures the challenge perfectly. This cosmic haystack of stars and frequencies is so vast that everything we've done so far is like scooping one glass of water out of all the Earth's oceans. We've barely even begun.
Okay, so let's get back to the numbers and see how we even begin to estimate our chances in this cosmic game. To help guide the search, astronomers use something called the Drake equation. Now, Frank Drake created this way back in 1961, not to get a perfect answer, but as a way to organize our ignorance, really. It breaks down the one giant question, how many civilizations are out there, into smaller, more manageable pieces. So what happens when you plug our best, most modern estimates into this thing? Well, Louis Friedman, a co-founder of the Planetary Society, did exactly that. After crunching all the latest data, he came up with this number for N. That's the number of detectable civilizations in our galaxy right now. Yeah, a result of basically 1. It's a pretty sobering conclusion. His calculations suggest that at this very moment, there might only be a single technological civilization in the entire Milky Way capable of sending out signals. And that's us.
So why such a low number? This chart gets right to the heart of it. It's this problem of deep time. Life has existed on Earth for about 85% of its history. It got started pretty early. But our kind of technological intelligence? We've only been around for this vanishingly small fraction of time. It seems intelligence isn't an inevitable outcome of life. It might be a very recent and maybe an incredibly fragile development. So if intelligent, technological life really is that rare, what could be stopping it? Let's investigate the leading theories, the primary suspects for the Great Silence. There are tons of potential explanations, and they range from the lonely to the downright chilling. You've got the rare Earth idea, that the conditions for a planet like ours are just an incredible fluke. Then there's the Great Filter, some major hurdle that life rarely gets past. Or you get the more sci-fi zoo hypothesis. They're watching us, but hiding. And then there's the darkest possibility of all. Civilizations just destroy themselves before they can spread. The most daunting of these ideas is probably the Great Filter. It suggests there's at least one step in that long chain from simple life to a galactic civilization that is almost impossible to overcome. And the terrifying question this forces us to ask is that filter in our past something we've already conquered, or is it still waiting for us in our future? But hey, this case is far from closed. The silence doesn't mean we should stop looking. In fact, the search isn't over. It's just evolving in some really exciting new ways. We're expanding way beyond just listening for radio pings. Now we're hunting for other kinds of technosignatures. This includes searching for the waste heat from massive engineering projects like Dyson spheres, looking for industrial pollutants in the atmospheres of distant planets, or even trying to detect the faint glow of city lights on an alien world. And there are some truly audacious ideas on the drawing board. One is the Solar Gravitational Lens mission. The plan is to send a probe way out into the solar system, to a point where our own sun's gravity would act like a massive natural telescope, magnifying the light from a distant exoplanet. The result could be an actual image with enough detail to see continents and clouds. Ultimately, this whole search reflects that deep human curiosity and hope that was captured so perfectly by the great astronomer Carl Sagan. This drive to know our place in the cosmos. It's one of the most powerful forces in science. We don't have the answer yet, but the great silence, it forces us to confront our own existence, our fragility, and our potential. It leaves us with this profound, final thought, a question that's going to keep driving us as we keep listening to the vast, silent dark.